Rain hammered against the gallery windows. Maya Chen stood motionless in the center of the empty exhibition hall, surrounded by paintings she pretended to understand. Her charcoal blazer hung loose over a cream silk blouse, both thrift store finds she'd carefully pressed that morning. Black slacks, worn flats. Hair pulled back in a tight bun that made her look older, more serious. The overhead lights cast harsh shadows across white walls and polished concrete floors. She wasn't supposed to be here. The real curator had called in sick. Maya was just the assistant who cataloged inventory in the basement and stayed invisible. The front door opened. A man entered, shaking rain from his shoulders. Tall, wearing a gray wool coat over dark jeans and a black sweater. Water dripped from his dark hair onto the collar. He had the kind of face that looked like it had forgotten how to smile, sharp features, tired eyes that scanned the room with practiced efficiency. Their eyes met. Something shifted in the air. He walked toward her slowly, footsteps echoing. The scent of rain and expensive cologne followed him. "I'm looking for the Turner exhibit," he said. His voice was rough, like gravel under tires. Maya's pulse quickened. "It's in the East Wing. Through that archway." He didn't move. "You know art?" "I work here." "That's not what I asked." She bristled. "I know enough." A ghost of a smile touched his mouth. "Show me your favorite piece." "I'm not a tour guide. I'm not asking for a tour." He tilted his head, studying her. "I'm asking what you see when nobody's watching." The question caught her off guard. She hesitated, then walked across the hall to a small canvas in the corner. A storm over an empty field, all violent grays and blacks with one slash of gold breaking through the clouds. "This one," she said quietly. He came to stand beside her. Close enough that she could feel the heat radiating from his body in the cool gallery air. "Why?" "Because it's honest. Everything's broken, but there's still light. Most people walk past it." He stared at the painting for a long moment. "Most people are idiots." She turned to look at him. Really look at him. There were shadows under his eyes. A scar along his jawline. Tension in his shoulders like he carried weight no one else could see. "I'm Kai," he said, extending his hand. "Kai Rothman." The name hit her like ice water. Kai Rothman. The architect. The one who'd built half the city skyline. The one whose wife had died in a fire 2 years ago in one of his own buildings. Her hand trembled as she shook his. "Maya. Just Maya. Just Maya." His grip was warm, firm. He held on a second longer than necessary. "I need to hire someone," he said abruptly. "I'm designing a private museum. I need someone who actually sees art, not just price tags and prestige. Someone who won't lie to me about what works. I'm not qualified. You're the first person in 6 months who's been honest. That's the only qualification I need." Her heart hammered. "You don't know anything about me. Then tell me." His eyes locked on hers. Intense. Searching. "Tell me one true thing." The words came out before she could stop them. "I'm hiding from someone. Someone dangerous. And taking this job would mean being visible again." Silence stretched between them. Rain continued its assault on the windows. Thunder rumbled somewhere distant. "Good," he said finally. "So am I. We can hide together in plain sight." "That's insane." "Probably." He pulled a business card from his pocket, pressed it into her palm. "Think about it. I'll be at this address tomorrow at noon. Show up or don't. Your choice." He walked toward the exit, coat billowing behind him. "Wait," she called out. "Why me? Really?" He stopped at the door, turned back. The harsh gallery lights carved deep shadows across his face. Because when you looked at that painting, I saw the same thing in your eyes that I see in the mirror every morning. Survival. And I think we could help each other survive a little longer. The door closed behind him. Maya stood alone in the echoing gallery, his card burning in her hand, knowing she'd just been offered either salvation or destruction. And knowing, somehow, she'd already decided to show up. The address led to a converted warehouse in the industrial district. Brick walls covered in ivy, massive windows frosted with age, the smell of sawdust and metal sharp in the autumn air. Maya stood outside at 11:58, wearing the same charcoal blazer but with dark jeans and boots today. Hair down this time, falling past her shoulders. A small act of defiance against her own fear. Kai appeared in the doorway at exactly noon. White button-down shirt with sleeves rolled to his elbows, showing forearms marked with faded scars. Dark jeans, work boots covered in plaster dust. He looked more human today, less like the polished architect from magazine covers. You came. Relief flickered across his face. I'm either brave or stupid. Could be both. He stepped aside. Come in. The interior was chaos and beauty intertwined. Architectural models covered every surface. Blueprints pinned to walls. A drafting table near the windows, light streaming through in golden columns. The space smelled like coffee and creativity. In the center sat a scale model of a building unlike anything she'd seen. All curves and glass, organic somehow, like a wave frozen mid-crash. This is your museum? She asked, moving closer. Our museum. If you say yes. She circled the model slowly. It's stunning. And completely impractical. He laughed. Actually laughed. The sound was rusty, like he'd forgotten how. That's exactly what my team said. Why? The glass ratios. The support structures. Beautiful in theory, nightmare in execution. You'd need custom fabrication for every joint. The cost would be astronomical. See? He came to stand across from her, the model between them. Honesty. Everyone else just tells me it's brilliant. It is brilliant. It's also impossible. Nothing's impossible. Just expensive and difficult. His eyes found hers. Help me make it real. She wanted to. God, she wanted to. I told you I'm hiding. This kind of project puts me in magazines, on websites, everywhere. The person I'm running from will find me. Who are you running from? Her jaw tightened. An ex-Daniel Voss. He's a prosecutor. Powerful family, connections everywhere. When I left him, he made it his personal mission to destroy me. Got me blacklisted, froze my accounts, made sure no gallery would touch me. Kai's expression darkened. Voss. I know that name. His father's a judge. Yes. And Daniel doesn't lose. Ever. So I became invisible. Changed my name, took jobs below my qualifications, stayed small. You're not small, Maya. You're compressed. There's a difference. Something in his voice made her chest ache. What are you running from? He was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was barely above a whisper. Guilt. My wife, Nora, she died in a fire. In one of my buildings. A building I designed, I approved, I cut corners on to save money and meet deadlines. Maya's breath caught. The Ashford Tower. You know about it. Everyone knows about it. Then you know I killed her. He turned away, gripping the edge of the drafting table. 32 people died. Including the woman I promised to protect. So yeah, I'm running. From lawsuits, from reporters, from the fact that I wake up every morning and she doesn't. She moved around the model, stood beside him. Close enough to feel the tremor running through his rigid frame. Did you deliberately cut corners? No. But I missed things. I was too focused on vision, not enough on safety. That's the same thing. It's not. He looked at her, eyes red-rimmed. How would you know? Because intent matters. You made a mistake. A horrible, tragic mistake. But you didn't set out to hurt anyone. Daniel set out to hurt me. He planned it, executed it, enjoyed it. That's different. Is it? His voice broke. The result is the same. People got hurt. Lives got destroyed. And you're trying to fix it. This museum, this work. You're trying to build something that matters. Or I'm trying to absolve myself. Maybe it's both. Maybe that's okay. They stood in silence, surrounded by blueprints and broken dreams. Outside, clouds shifted. Sun broke through, flooding the space with warm light. Work with me, Kai said quietly. Help me build something that won't fail. Something that honors the people we've lost. And in exchange, I'll make sure Daniel Voss never touches you again. How? I have resources. Lawyers, investigators, connections of my own. We protect each other. It was dangerous. Reckless. Everything she'd avoided for 2 years. Okay, she heard herself say. Yes. His hand found hers. Warm, calloused, steady. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. I might make this worse. Or you might make it better. He squeezed her hand gently. I'm willing to risk it. The door burst open. A woman stormed in, designer pantsuit, blonde hair severe, fury radiating from every pore. She stopped when she saw them, saw their joined hands. Kai. We need to talk. Now. He didn't let go of Maya's hand. Lauren. This is Maya. She's joining the project. Lauren's eyes were ice. Joining the project? Or joining your bed? Because we both know how that ends. Maya felt Kai's hand tighten around hers, felt the anger rolling off him in waves. Get out, Lauren. I'm your business partner. You don't get to dismiss me. Watch me. Lauren's smile was poisonous. Fine. But when this blows up in your face like everything else, don't come crying to me. And you. She turned to Maya. Whatever he's promised you, he can't deliver. He destroys everything he touches. Ask his dead wife. She left. The door slammed. The echo reverberated through the warehouse. Maya pulled her hand free. Who was that? My business partner. And my late wife's sister. The words hung in the air like smoke. Maya's stomach dropped. You're working with your dead wife's sister? It's complicated. It's insane. She owns 40% of the firm. I can't just cut her out. He ran his hands through his hair. She blames me for Nora's death. She's right to. Does she know? About the corners you cut? His silence was answer enough. Maya stepped back. I can't do this. This is too much. Too messy. Maya, please. She'll destroy me. She'll find Daniel, she'll tell him where I am, she'll burn my life down just to hurt you. I won't let that happen. You can't promise that. He moved toward her, desperation in his eyes. Then let me try. Please. Don't run again. Not from this. Not from me. Her phone buzzed. She pulled it out, hands shaking. Unknown number. A text message appeared. I know where you are. I'm coming for what's mine. D. The phone slipped from her fingers, clattered to the concrete floor. Kai's apartment was steel and glass, high above the city. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking lights that glittered like fallen stars. Modern furniture, all sharp edges and cold surfaces. Everything impersonal, like a hotel room where no one actually lived. Maya sat on the gray sectional, wearing one of his shirts over her jeans because her hands wouldn't stop shaking enough to button her blazer. The fabric smelled like cedar and rain. Kai paced near the windows, phone pressed to his ear, voice low and urgent as he spoke to someone about security. 3 days. Daniel's text had come 3 days ago, and Kai had insisted she stay here. Safe. Protected. Trapped. He ended the call, turned to face her. He'd changed into a black Henley and dark jeans, feet bare on the hardwood. The city lights behind him made him look like a shadow cut from the night. My security team traced the text. It came from a burner phone, last pinged near the gallery. He knows where I work. Her voice sounded hollow. He won't get near you. Kai sat beside her, close but not touching. I promise. You can't keep me locked in here forever. I can try. Despite everything, she almost smiled. Kai. I've been running for 2 years. At some point, I have to face him. Not alone. How did this happen? She turned to look at him. A week ago, I was invisible. Now I'm hiding in a billionaire's apartment while my psychotic ex hunts me down. Your sister-in-law hates me. I'm working on a project I'm not qualified for. Nothing about this is normal. Normal's overrated. Says the man with a penthouse and unlimited resources. Resources don't fix everything. He reached out, hesitated, then tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. His fingers lingered against her cheek. They didn't save Nora. The pain in his voice broke something in her chest. Tell me about her. The real her, not the headlines. He pulled his hand back, stared at his palms like they held answers. She was brilliant. Environmental lawyer, fought for things that mattered. She saw the best in people, even when they didn't deserve it. Especially when they didn't deserve it. She loved you. She loved who she thought I was. Visionary architect, changing skylines, making the world beautiful. She didn't know I was cutting corners to beat deadlines. Bribing inspectors. Taking risks with people's lives. Did you know? Did you know the building was unsafe? His jaw clenched. I knew there were concerns. I ignored them. I told myself it would be fine. And then it wasn't. Maya's heart ached. Have you ever said that out loud before? No. Not to Lauren. Not to anyone. Lauren doesn't want explanations. She wants someone to blame. I'm convenient. And you let her. I deserve it. Maybe. But punishment without purpose is just cruelty. She shifted closer. What are you building this museum for, Kai? Really? He met her eyes. Redemption. Legacy. Proof that I can still create something that doesn't fall apart. And us? What are we? The question hung between them, heavy and dangerous. Honestly? His voice dropped to barely a whisper. I don't know. But when I'm with you, I feel less like I'm drowning. And that terrifies me. Why? Because everyone I care about gets hurt. She reached for his hand, laced their fingers together. Then maybe I'm already hurt. Maybe we're both damaged enough that we cancel each other out. He laughed, the sound broken. That's terrible logic. I know. He leaned forward. She could feel his breath against her lips, could see the war in his eyes, could feel her own pulse hammering. His phone rang. Shrill. Insistent. Ignore it, she breathed. I can't. It's Lauren. He answered. His face changed immediately. Went white. Then red. What do you mean arrested? For what? Maya's stomach dropped. That's impossible. I haven't spoken to any reporters. No. Lauren, listen to me. The call ended. He stood abruptly, began pacing again. There's an article coming out tomorrow. Anonymous source claiming I knowingly ignored safety violations at Ashford Tower. That I paid off inspectors. That I'm criminally responsible for those deaths. Did you pay people off? Yes. God help me, yes. But not at Ashford. Different projects, different inspectors, minor violations. Nothing that would have caused the fire. But it looks bad. It looks like I'm a murderer. Who would leak this? I don't know. Lauren says it's not her. My team signed NDAs. Unless, he stopped. Stared at her. Unless someone wanted to distract me. Draw attention away from something else. Like what? The door buzzer rang. Long urgent. Kai moved to the intercom. Who is it? Static. Then a voice Maya knew too well. Smooth. Cultured. Poisonous. Hello, Rothman. I believe you have something of mine. Let's talk like civilized people. Or I call the police and tell them Maya Chen is using a false identity and living with a man under investigation for manslaughter. Your choice. Daniel. Kai looked at her, eyes blazing with fury. How did he get this address? He's a prosecutor. He has resources too. Maya stood on shaking legs. Let me talk to him. This is my mess. Like hell. Kai, he'll destroy you to get to me. Your reputation, your business, everything. I won't let that happen. You think I care about my reputation? I think you care about finishing that museum. Honoring those people. And you can't do that from prison. He grabbed her arms. Listen to me. You are not going down there. You are not sacrificing yourself. We'll figure this out together. There is no together if you're arrested. If your company collapses. If everything you're trying to build gets destroyed. Tears burned her eyes. He wins by making you collateral damage. So I remove myself from the equation. No. It's the only way. Maya, please. Don't do this. She pulled free, walked to the door. Her hands trembled on the handle. I'm sorry, she whispered. For what it's worth, these 3 days were the first time I've felt alive in years. Then stay alive. With me. She opened the door. Stepped into the hallway. Maya. She didn't look back. Couldn't. If she looked back, she'd break. The elevator descended. Her reflection in the steel doors showed someone she barely recognized. Brave or stupid? Maybe both. The lobby doors opened. Daniel Voss stood there in a tailored navy suit, blonde hair perfect, smile sharp as broken glass. Behind him, 2 police officers. Hello, darling, he said. Let's go home. One of the officers stepped forward. Maya Chen, you're under arrest for identity fraud and grand larceny. You have the right to remain silent. The cuffs clicked around her wrists. Cold. Final. Above her, she heard Kai's voice echoing down the stairwell. Running. Shouting her name. But it was too late. Daniel's smile widened. Did you really think you could hide from me forever? The interrogation room was beige and fluorescent. Maya sat across from Daniel at a metal table, hands still cuffed. He'd dismissed the officers, closed the door. Just the 2 of them now, like old times. He looked exactly the same. Expensive suit, wedding ring he still wore from their engagement, cologne that used to make her feel safe. Now it made her nauseous. You look tired, Maya. He leaned back, perfectly at ease. Running doesn't suit you. What do you want, Daniel? What I've always wanted. You. Home. Where you belong. I don't belong to you. Legally, you do. We were engaged. You left with items that weren't yours. Family heirlooms, jewelry, my grandmother's painting. That's theft. You gave those to me. Gifts given under the pretense of marriage. Marriage that never happened because you ran. That makes them stolen property. His smile was ice. I have lawyers who can prove it. Or you can come home, and all this goes away. You're insane. I'm pragmatic. You embarrassed me, Maya. Made me look weak. Unstable. Do you know what that did to my career? My family's reputation? I left because you hit me, Daniel. Because you controlled everything I did, everyone I saw. Because I was suffocating. I was protecting you. His voice sharpened. You were naive. Trusting the wrong people. Making bad decisions. Someone had to guide you. Someone had to own me, you mean? He stood abruptly, circled behind her. She felt his hands on her shoulders. Heavy. Possessive. I've given you 2 years to come to your senses. Instead, you shack up with Kai Rothman? A man under investigation? A murderer? He's not a murderer. He killed 32 people through negligence. That's manslaughter at minimum. And you're defending him? His fingers tightened. Unless this is revenge. You're using him to hurt me. Very creative, darling. I'm not using anyone. And I'm not going back to you. Then you're going to prison. 5 years minimum for the charges I have. And when you get out, I'll be waiting. The door opened. A woman in a gray pantsuit entered, carrying a file. Sharp features, dark hair pulled back. She looked familiar. Prosecutor Voss. We need to talk. Now. Daniel released Maya's shoulders. Detective Barnes. I'm in the middle of. I know what you're in the middle of. And it's over. She dropped the file on the table. Maya Chen's charges are being dropped. All of them. Maya's breath caught. What? New evidence came to light. The items you allegedly stole were gifts, documented in emails and receipts Prosecutor Voss himself submitted during the engagement. As for the identity fraud, changing your name legally through the court system isn't a crime. It's a right. Daniel's face went red. That's not possible. I never. Someone sent us everything. Including recordings of you threatening Miss Chen. Documented instances of domestic violence. Witness statements from your former colleagues about your obsessive behavior. Would you like me to continue? Kai. It had to be Kai. Daniel slammed his hand on the table. This is a setup. Someone's framing me. Or someone's finally holding you accountable. Detective Barnes unlocked Maya's cuffs. You're free to go, Miss Chen. And Prosecutor Voss? Consider yourself under investigation. Don't leave the city. Maya stood on shaking legs. Daniel lunged for her. Barnes stepped between them, hand on her weapon. Touch her and I arrest you right now. His eyes met Maya's. Pure hatred. This isn't over. Yes, Maya said quietly. It is. She walked out. The precinct was chaos, phones ringing, officers moving. She pushed through to the exit, burst into cold night air. Kai was there. Leaning against his car under a streetlight, wearing his gray coat over the black Henley. He looked exhausted. Wrecked. Perfect. Their eyes met. You came, she breathed. Always. He pushed off the car. I called in every favor I had. Got recordings from the gallery where you worked, found people Daniel had threatened before, built a case even his family's lawyers couldn't bury. Why? Because you protected me. So I protected you. He stepped closer. And because I love you, and I'm tired of pretending I don't. The words hit her like lightning. Kai. I know it's insane. I know it's too fast. I know I'm a disaster who destroys everything. But you walked into that building 3 days ago ready to sacrifice yourself for me. And I decided right then that I'd burn the whole world down before I let anything happen to you. Tears streamed down her face. I love you too. And it's terrifying. Good. He cupped her face in his hands. Let's be terrified together. He kissed her. Deep, desperate, claiming. She kissed him back, pouring everything into it. Fear and hope and love and need. A car pulled up. Black sedan, tinted windows. The door opened. Lauren stepped out. She wore a black dress, heels, expression unreadable. Kai tensed. Lauren. What are you doing here? Cleaning up my mess. She looked at Maya. I'm the one who leaked the article. About the safety violations. Maya's heart stopped. Why? Because I wanted to destroy him. Because I blamed him for Nora's death and I wanted him to suffer. Her voice cracked. But I was wrong. I was angry and grieving and I lashed out at the wrong person. Lauren, Kai started. No. Let me finish. She took a shaky breath. I spent 2 years hating you. Building evidence against you. Planning your downfall. And then I watched you with her. Watched you fight for something. For someone. The way you used to fight for Nora. And I realized you weren't the enemy. You were just human. And humans make mistakes. The fire was my fault, Kai said hoarsely. No. It was an electrical failure. The final investigation report came back last week. Faulty wiring in a wall you never touched. I buried it because I wanted you to keep suffering. That makes me the monster, not you. Silence. Rain began to fall, soft and cold. Why are you telling me this now? Kai asked. Because she loves you. Lauren looked at Maya. And she deserves to know who she's loving. Not the man I painted you to be. The real you. Flawed, struggling, but trying. Always trying. She reached into her purse, pulled out an envelope. Handed it to Kai. My resignation. And the investigation report. Do with it what you want. Build your museum. Live your life. I'm done holding you hostage to my grief. She turned to leave. Kai grabbed her arm. Lauren. I'm sorry. For everything. For not being able to save her. For not being enough. You were always enough, Kai. I just needed someone to blame. And you let me because you blamed yourself more. She squeezed his hand. Forgive yourself. Nora would want that. She got back in her car. Drove away into the rain. Maya and Kai stood in the falling water, holding each other like lifelines. It's over, she whispered. Daniel, Lauren, all of it. Not over. Just beginning. What do we do now? He pulled back, looked at her with those dark eyes that saw everything. We build the museum. We build a life. We build something that matters. Together. What if we fail? Then we fail together. But Maya? He smiled. Really smiled. The kind of smile that lit up the darkness. I don't think we will. She kissed him again. Softer this time. A promise. Behind them, the city glittered through the rain. Infinite possibilities stretching into the night. 6 months later. The museum stood complete against a crimson sunset. All curves and glass, reflecting sky and earth in equal measure. Maya stood at the entrance, wearing a simple black dress and heels, hair loose around her shoulders. Behind her, crowds gathered. Art critics, investors, survivors from Ashford Tower. The people who mattered. Kai appeared beside her in a charcoal suit, no tie, top button undone. He looked different now. Lighter. The shadows under his eyes had faded. He took her hand. Ready? She squeezed his fingers. Terrified. Good answer. They walked inside together. The exhibition hall soared above them, natural light flooding through skylights designed to shift with the sun. On the walls hung pieces from survivors, artists, ordinary people who'd turned trauma into beauty. In the center stood a memorial. 32 names etched in glass. Nora Rothman's name among them. Kai stopped in front of it. Maya stayed close, silent. I thought this would hurt more, he said quietly. Seeing her name. Making it permanent. Does it? No. It feels right. Like I'm finally honoring her instead of just mourning her. A woman approached. Late 50s, silver hair, kind eyes. She wore a simple gray dress and carried a small painting. Mr. Rothman? I'm Catherine Mills. My son died at Ashford. Kai went pale. Mrs. Mills. I'm so sorry. Stop. She held up her hand. I didn't come here for apologies. I came to say thank you. For this place. For creating something beautiful from something horrible. For not letting their deaths be meaningless. She handed him the painting. A lighthouse in a storm. Light breaking through darkness. My son painted this the week before he died. He'd want it here. With the others. Kai's hands shook as he took it. I don't deserve this. Your forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't about deserving. It's about choosing to stop carrying the weight. She touched his arm gently. Let go, Mr. Rothman. They're at peace. You should be too. She walked away, disappearing into the crowd. Maya wrapped her arms around him. Felt him shake. Felt the tears he'd held back for years finally break free. It's okay, she whispered. Let it out. I've got you. He held her like she was the only thing keeping him anchored to earth. Around them, people moved through the space, talking softly, pointing at art, reading names. Bearing witness. Hours later, the crowd thinned. Maya and Kai stood on the rooftop terrace, overlooking the city. Stars emerged overhead. Lights twinkled below. The air smelled like autumn and possibility. I have something to tell you, Maya said. That sounds ominous. Daniel's trial starts next week. They want me to testify. Kai turned to face her. Do you want to? I don't know. Part of me wants to watch him face consequences. Part of me just wants to move forward. What does your gut say? She thought about it. About the woman she'd been 2 years ago, terrified and controlled. About the woman she'd become. Strong. Free. Loved. My gut says I already won. I got away. I built a new life. I found you. Making him pay won't change what happened. But moving forward will change what happens next. So I'm not testifying. I'm letting the prosecutors use the evidence we gave them, but I'm not putting myself through reliving it. I'm choosing peace over revenge. He cupped her face. I'm proud of you. Even though I'm letting him off easy. You're not letting him off. You're freeing yourself. There's a difference. She leaned into his touch. When did you get so wise? When I met someone who showed me that survival isn't the same as living. He knelt. Her heart stopped. From his pocket, he pulled a small box. Opened it. Inside, a ring. Simple silver band with a single diamond. Clean. Perfect. Nothing like the ostentatious rock Daniel had given her. Maya Chen. You saved my life. Not by fixing me or healing me or making me whole. By showing me that broken things can still be beautiful. That mistakes don't define us. That love isn't about being perfect. It's about choosing each other anyway. His voice roughened. Marry me. Build impossible things with me. Be terrified with me for the rest of our lives. Tears streamed down her face. That's a terrible proposal. I know. I love it. Is that a yes? She pulled him to his feet, kissed him hard. Yes. Yes. 1,000 times yes. He slid the ring onto her finger. Perfect fit. Of course it was. They stood together on the rooftop, the museum glowing behind them, the city stretching infinite before them. Two broken people who'd found each other in the wreckage. Who'd built something beautiful from pain. Who'd chosen love over fear. Somewhere below, life continued. Daniel faced justice. Lauren found peace. The survivors healed. The world turned. But up here, in this moment, there was only them. Two souls who'd been invisible for so long, finally seen. I'm still scared, Maya whispered. Good. Kai pulled her closer. So am I. But we're scared together. And that makes all the difference. She rested her head against his chest, listened to his heartbeat. Strong. Steady. Alive. They'd survived the worst. The betrayal, the sacrifice, the pain. They'd come through fire and found each other on the other side. And for the first time in years, the future looked bright. Not perfect. Not easy. But theirs. And that was enough. The end.